What's up everyone, Matt here, back with another episode of the Spotlight on Mario Kart Tour. That's right, this tour we are diving all into everything Space Tour. It's been an interesting tour so far. A lot of people talking about Wee Rainbow Road only having that one lap, but you know, I don't really have much to say about that. All I would say, Shy Guy Kart did a great video talking about how you can get 200 plus actions on the course. I retweeted a awesome run from Autodrift who got, I think, like 205 actions or something like that. So it is absolutely fine for Mario Kart Tour and we can enjoy it. So I hope that you enjoy that. Make sure to check out that video from Shy Guy Kart as well. But we're going to dive in, and as you know, we like to look at what's new, what's hot, and what's at the top in Mario Kart Tour, and this tour is no different. We've got some really interesting items to look into to see what it's all about. So we're going to dive into that in a moment, but make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to join what we're doing over on Discord as well. We're having a lot of fun. The memes were just going off today, so it was really good. Make sure to join. And I've got a special announcement actually. I'm really excited. I've been doing a lot around Lego. I don't know about you, and this channel is all about nostalgia. For me, when I was a kid, it was all about Lego. I was absolutely crazy about Lego, and some things haven't changed. So you might have noticed some Lego in the background of some of the previous episodes. And my special announcement is tomorrow. So that will be at 2 p.m. New Zealand time on Sunday, which is going to be about 8 p.m. in America on a Saturday night. This weekend, I'm going to be doing some Lego building on my first ever live stream. So that's right, you know who my favorite character is, so you might guess what the Lego set's going to be. Here it is. We've got Lego Luigi. Let's go. I've been looking for one of these for a long time. Finally found it on the shelf when I was randomly in a shop the other day. So good. And yeah, I'm going to put it together on stream. I love Lego. I love nostalgia and some of the cool things from our childhood. You know, they can never get old. And yeah, it's really enjoyable. So make sure to stay tuned to the channel, hit like and subscribe, and get ready for me to go live for the first time ever. It's going to be crazy. It's just going to be pretty chill. It's going to be just on my phone, nothing super flash or anything like that in terms of live streaming, but we'll have some fun together. So come along, hang out in the chat, have a laugh, and yeah, let's build some Lego together. And we can, I'd love to have any questions in the chat, anything you want to ask me about the channel, within reason, of course. Anything you want to ask about me or the channel, about gaming, anything like that, come along and ask a question. I'll be answering your questions and building Lego. So come along and have some fun. All right, so now that we're ready to get into this episode, I just want to give a massive shout out firstly to Flo for what he does with the Ticket Time app. If you haven't used Ticket Time yet, I really encourage you to join our server, check it out, check out the link in the description down below, and have a go at running Ticket Time on your inventory. If you already use the BGR tracker, it's as simple as copying the output of your inventory in your most current spreadsheet, paste that into a blank Google Sheet, download it as a CSV file, and import that into Ticket Time. It literally only takes about 2 minutes from having an up-to-date BGR tracker to run your Ticket Time rankings. And it's a really great starting point to see what are the items which are really valuable for your account. So much of what we do when we talk about the meta is subjective, and we're working on some great features. So Flo announced today that we're looking at integrating the calculations from a Turtle Dude's ticket optimizer into Ticket Time. So that will look at how do we optimize tickets across more than one item. So we're doing some pretty crazy stuff here in the code around mathematics and around looking at, instead of just looking at each item in isolation, what if we were to spin all our tickets across our inventory, kind of essentially like the ACR optimizer does, which a Turtle Dude also has programmed, except this is about long-term value for your account as opposed to just one tour. So really exciting things to come in Ticket Time. For now, Ticket Time is as it was, but stay tuned for that. And just want to shout you out, Flo. You're doing an amazing job. Keep up the awesome work. We love it. And yeah, it's just so good to see so many people engaging in the server with getting their rankings looked at, looking at the items and getting that confidence to go ahead and do that thing or invest in that item that they need to. first up tonight, we're going to go ahead and look at the winners and losers when it comes to the buff war that goes on every tour, in this one and the Space Tour. So thank you to Flo for putting this together. We will deep dive on every single one of these items that's a winner. We're not going to deep dive on the items that are losers, but let's take a look at the list and see what comes up. By the way, I should just mention, this is a totally subjective list. So of course, every inventory is unique, and that's why Ticket Time uses your inventory to figure out the best upgrades for you. So that being said, let's go take a look at the list, which is just totally opinion based, but it should be hopefully useful when it comes to the value of the buffs. The first driver is Larry Wintertime. He got 4 buffs this tour, including 2 Wii Rainbow Roads, certainly a winner when it comes to the number of buffs and some of those new courses. I tend to rate his buffs last tour even stronger because of Baby Park RT, which was a very hard to cover course. This time you already have great coin box and boomerang options on all of his tracks. So that makes it a little bit more tough, especially with that smaller hitbox. You can see why people aren't investing into him based on that hitbox size. Then we've got Santa Me Racing Suit. Decent buffs, triple ranked appearance, very strong start in its first tour. So as you know, I invested into Larry Wintertime. Part of me is thinking, maybe I should have gone with Santa Me. Of course, my preference is Larry Wintertime's a cool character and he has coin box. So I had to invest. But Santa Me is a great option if you want to look at the meta. If you love Lucky 7, it's a great option because no matter if he gets, he's just had an overlap with Meowser over on Twilight House. Now, you could say that's not a good buff because it's an overlap with Meowser, and that would be true. But if you are going to eventually level up the Santa Me to some kind of max level, he's actually going to give you, maybe not on Twilight House, but in general, he's going to give you a high scoring potential than Meowser would. So Coinbox, of course, is the best skill for battle tracks, but certainly those Me base points cannot be ignored. So Santa Me, definitely a winner, very strong start in his first couple tours. Yeah, I could be totally wrong about thinking he's going to be too themed. It could be exactly the opposite. So we'll see what happens. Then we have a loser when it comes to the drivers. That is the Bronze Me Racing Suit. We haven't really talked about that for a while. So many Miis are still getting buffed. The Bronze Me is not even getting mid-shelf buffs. Could easily be a top 10 driver otherwise. And I think this really shows that rarity is a huge factor in how Nintendo favors the buffs of items. This one, a lot of people have the Bronze Me because they've reached that tier, and therefore they can go ahead and, yeah, just obtain it very easily. So yeah, not a very good item. I would generally recommend avoiding that item with the lack of buffs. Moving on to the carts, we've got the Blazing Eagle, really interesting one, seeing as it's now in the Spotlight shop and it hasn't been before. It got 2 Wii Rainbow Road buffs and it's now available in the Spotlight shop. It could be interesting if you don't have any other options like the Moo Moo Off-Roader for next week in Ranked. Then we've got the Purple Dozer. Got 3 great buffs on new tracks, which is a great start. We're still rather skeptical on its future value though. So that's the thing, being a ranked reward, and you'll see a little bit further down the list, we talk about Red Vampire Fly, and you'll see why we're a bit dubious on the Purple Dozer. Next up, we've got the Rambi Rider. The dream of any super item, a buff on a new track and a difficult one to cover. One of the few super items that's actually still relevant in the game. So if you watched our reaction, you would have seen me and Flo talk about we've been waiting for the Rambi Rider to get a new buff to justify investing into it. For me, the Rambi Rider overlaps with a lot of other great big carts, so there's hasn't been any point to level it up straight away. But now this tour, that is the item I will be leveling up for Wii Rainbow Road T. Now it's not unranked, but it could easily come in ranked in a future tour. It will end up in ranked at some point. And at that point, you're gonna hope you have the Rambi Rider and you're gonna hope that you've invested into it or have the super tickets. So hold on to those super tickets, they can be useful. If you're not spending on the Rambi Rider this tour, definitely one to think about in the future when it's in ranked. Next up, we've got the Swift Talon, 4 buffs, including 2 Wii Rainbow Roads. Also, it's available in the Spotlight shop now going forward. A similar situation for the Blazing Eagle. So 2 great carts, definitely have to look at overlaps and things like that. The Swift Talon is still pretty average, so you can't just go based on these 2 buffs. The Blazing Eagle, on the other hand, has had some really, really good buffs, so definitely one to keep an eye on. The Cact B, I don't even know if I want to mention this, guys. It's just had such bad value. we're not going to mention it after this tour. Hopefully it starts to get some good buffs and it can appear back on the winners list again. But yeah, the ranked appearance, but without further buff, is running out of track. So really disappointing. And then possibly even more disappointing, the Red Vampire Flyer. We definitely advise against leveling this one up. It had great buffs during the Animal Tour, but that's it. Again, no buffs. It really has an alarmingly few amount of track. So really disappointing stuff with that Red Vampire Flyer. I know some people have leveled that card up, so I hope for their sake that it does get some future buffs and get a bit more value. Next up, the gliders. We've got the Festive Holly, one that I didn't pick up because it was a commemorative. Now it's starting to get some huge buffs this tour. It got Wee Rainbow Road RT and 2 more new tracks that are quite difficult to cover if you don't have the Piranha Plant Balloons. A really nice glider. It's already got 4 tracks for my account if I even obtained it. So I'm going to keep an eye on that one, and in a few tours time, if it becomes available, it might be the next glider that I start to invest into. So keep an eye on this one. If obviously if you didn't obtain it, then you don't invest into it. If you're sitting on it, it might be one to start looking at now, because it's definitely, Nintendo have shown now that it's going to be getting some good buffs, and it's getting some favor. They obviously like the items, so yeah, enjoy it. Tulip Corsage, 3 buffs and one of them new. This is quite strong for its age. So it's not a new glider, it's got a lot of cities, but it's actually still getting some decent buffs. So really good there. Wonderful Garnet is starting to recover from its underwhelming start. 3 buffs, 2 of them Wee Rainbow Road, very good. Then we've got the losers, so Chocolate Pretzel. It was in the winners list 2 tours ago, but since then it hasn't developed very great. It's not seemed to get the buffs. Maybe this one's got that curse of the theming where it doesn't get a buff because, yeah, it is a cooking themed item, and they're only going to bring it back in city tours or in cooking themed tours. So we'll have to see what happens there with the Chocolate Pretzel. Fuzzy Kite, it's in ranked with a new buff, but that's already it. So I only got 1 course, which is very poor for a new glider. Perhaps they're going to theme this one as well, and it didn't fit with the space theme, who knows. Same with the gold hard hat balloon, really disappointing for me. I invested in this to level 5, expecting it to get some good buffs in ranked appearances, but here I've got some gaps in my gliders, and then meanwhile it's overlapping with the golden wings, so that's really, really disappointing. It didn't get the key buffs that we needed to cover. So a bit disappointing for a paywalled item. We'll see how it turns out. I think gliders are very much a long game, so we'll see how that one turns out in the future. And then lastly, the Lava Rock. Such a great design, but it also had such bad buffs since months. Had a small peak in the Animal Tour, but I'll probably never come close to the top 10. Really disappointing to hear, right guys? So we'll see what happens with it. We'll keep an eye on these items, but there we go. There is the winners and losers list. Now let's do some deep dives on some of these items, starting out with the new items to see what is the starting coverage like. Should you obtain these different items? Which is the strongest driver of these new drivers? Let's go take a look right now. Firstly, taking a look at Pink Toad Pit Crew. All right, so we've got Pink Toad Pit Crew. I think he looks awesome. I love it. And with the heart skill, for me, he's gonna be my new go-to multiplayer driver. With the heart skill, the small hitbox, you pair that up with a small cart, grab a mega mushroom glider, so it will be him, maybe in some kind of, I need to find a small pink cart, then with the 8-bit 1-up mushroom, with the mega mushroom plus, that's a great meta multiplayer skill matchup to use. And yeah, he looks really cool. But in terms of his starting value, he's got 5 retros to start, 122 on the ticket time rankings. He picked up Rainbow Road R, Cheap Island T, Ghost Valley 2, Rainbow Road, and Rainbow Road RT. All of these have plus skills on them. Every single one of them has Coin Box. He has 2 overlaps with Daisy Tie Dress. He has 2 with Pauline Party Time, 2 with Peach Happy, 2 with PD Piranha Gold, and some others as well. So, of course, you're not looking at this item as a meta driver, so it's not really important for that. I think it's more of a collectible, so enjoy the color, and yeah, if you're like me, enjoy racing him in multiplayer. Purple Me starts out at number 97 on the ticket time rankings. It starts out with 6 retros, and it has a couple ranked appearances there. It's got Twilight House, it's got Rainbow Road 2, Rainbow Road 2R, those are the remix versions, SNS Ghost Valley 2T, Wee Rainbow Road, and Wee Rainbow Road RT. So a really nice mixture of tracks there, some really nice starting value, but of course being a me with a non-plus skill, you would really have to weigh up in the future if you need it probably based on the overlaps. So not too encouraging when it's got 2 overlaps with Meowser to start, 2 with Pauline Party Time, King Bob on Gold, and Larry Winter Time, as well as 3 with Lakitu Party Time and 3 with Mario Satellaview. So if you're already invested in those drivers, it doesn't really make sense unless you're going for a crazy ACR run and you need to max out a Mii or something like that to get the coverage. But really cool set of courses, especially if you're a newer player and you don't have these other drivers leveled up, it might totally make sense. So there he is, number 97 on the Ticket Time rankings, Purple Me. Next up is Toadette Astronaut. Total surprise being a ranked reward. We thought she might be the plus skill, some kind of hidden secret thing coming out, but yeah, she ended up getting the dash ring. I think she looks really cool and she could get some unique value, but probably more of a collectible. Ranked items, you know, she could get really good buffs, but it really is 50-50. And she starts out at number 95 in the Ticket Time rankings. She got Cheap Lagoon T, Boo Lake, Remix Rainbow Road 1 and 1T, SNES Ghost Valley 2 and 2R, Rainbow Road R, Rainbow Road T, and Ghost Valley 2RT. So a couple of those Wii tracks, really nice. Of course, that ranked week 2 appearance with the Ghost Valley 2 might be nice for those who don't have some coverage there. Yeah, pretty okay start with the 9 retros, but nothing too crazy. She does have some overlaps, 3 with PD Piranha Gold, and 2 with Toad Astronaut, 2 with PD Piranha. Yeah, not a heck of a lot of plus skill overlap, but certainly those 3 with PD Piranha Gold is not a good starting point if you're already invested there. So yeah, Toadette Astronaut, we'll see how she turns out. Speaking of cool looking, Toad Astronaut, how amazing does he look? And he is a huge winner getting the boomerang skill. That is massive for non-Miis, especially now without those extra base points. So he starts out already at number 48 on the Ticket Time rankings with his 9 retros, including just the 1 ranked appearance in week 2. Interesting, but of course he's only available in ranked week 2, so yeah, kind of makes sense. He will get lots of ranked value in the future, just not this tour. Yeah, so he got Rainbow Road R, Boo Lake R, Cheap Island and R, Remix Rainbow Road 1R and 1T, Wii Rainbow Road R and RT, and then he also got 3DS Rainbow Road RT as well. So some nice coverage there. He has a couple of non coin box tracks. In fact, he's got 4 non-coin box tracks, which is really nice. In terms of his overlaps, he's got 3 with Lakitu Party Time, 3 with Mario Satellaview, and further down the list, 2 with Dry Bones Gold, and, you know, a few single overlaps with some other coin boxes as well. So I think in general, it's a really good start for Toad Astronaut. For me, I've got all his courses covered kind of already, so there's no real need. I think maybe just 1 course I would need him for. So not enough to really justify leveling him up straight away for me, especially because I'm not the kind of person who's going to be maxing out a boomerang driver. It's just not the way I play the game. So if you love boomerang, you love Toad, he might be one to take up to a really high level and overtake some of these drivers you might already have at a reasonable level, like Satellaview, you know, Donkey Kong Jr., SNS, those kind of drivers. Maybe you've only got them at level 6 with a single cap or something like that, and, you know, you take him to level 7 or 8. So yeah, not bad start. We'll see how he turns out. I definitely would recommend picking him up though, bearing in mind he will be discounted when he comes out at the 105 rubies. When he comes back into the Spotlight shop and you go, I really need him now, he's going to come back at that 150 rupee rate. So definitely recommend picking him up, even if you're not investing into him. He will probably be needed on some courses in the future, if not already this tour. So we'll see how he turns out. All right, let's move on to the carts. And first up, we've got the Gold Lunar Cruiser, the cart that maybe we didn't ask for, but shout out to Tour de Kart for predicting lots of big gold carts in 2022 and 2023 and beyond. Here we go, and I'm sure we'll get that gold off-roader, Angela. Just stay tuned. I'm sure we're going to get it. It's going to happen. I'm calling it now. And yeah, it is a slightly better gold reward than perhaps the gold new gold glider that's come out this tour, being that it has a ranked reward obtainability as opposed to the gold pass, which we've seen pretty average value in terms of the buffing potential. But Gold PD Piranha, he was a ranked reward. He's had fantastic buffs, and the Gold Lunar Cruiser could actually be a valuable item, so make sure to pick it up in ranked week 2 by going after that that ranked week. Yeah, maybe not a crazy cart. I'm dubious about its value, but who knows? Could be better than a gold pass gift. It starts out at number 118 on the Ticket Time rankings. It got 9 retros there. It does have 2 ranked appearances, one in ranked week 1, which is obviously fascinating being that you can't obtain it this week, and then week 2 being a level 8 one. So it's not really any use for ranked this tour anyway, which is kind of a funny thing Nintendo do, which, yeah, I guess it kind of reduces the value of these items as well. It got Rainbow Road R, Cheap Island, Calamari Desert 2 and 2T, Rainbow Road RT, GBA's Cheap Island RT, Remix Rainbow Road 2 RT, and Wii Rainbow Road RT. So not too bad. It's got 5 overlaps with the Lunar Cruiser, which is, yeah, a bit of a difficult one for my account. 3 with the Blooper Shuttle, the other new cart there. 3 with the Blazing Eagle, which does matter for some people. 2 with the Cupid's Arrow, etc. So yeah, there it is, Gold Lunar Cruiser, ranked week 2. Go after it, see if you can obtain it. Next up, we've got the Rainbow Taxi. Very, very cool looking cart. People have been talking how cool this looks. And then once the tour comes out and you kind of realize you don't really need it, then people have kind of petered off with their conversation about this. But yeah, it starts out at number 106 on the Ticket Time rankings with its 10 retro courses, including 2 ranked cup appearances, one of those being Rainbow Road RT, which is a level 8 unlocked there. But it does have the Remix Rainbow Road 2 RT in week 1, not necessarily a difficult course to cover, hence why this one may not be that valuable. It's also got Rainbow in the title, so you kind of expect this to pick up Rainbow Roads and maybe not get too much else. So we'll see how it goes, but it started out with crazy amounts of Rainbow Road courses, though it did get Ghost Valley 2T rather, and Wii Rainbow Road. So yeah, actually that's 4 ranked cup appearances I've just seen there. So yeah, that's actually very nice, and there might be a harder course to cover, including Wii Rainbow Road. So yeah, check it out. Not a large cart, but pretty nice. It has 5 overlaps with the Gold Cheap Charger, 5 with the Blooper Shuttle, 4 with the Dreamy Egg. Gold Pumpkin Cart's quite notable there. It's got Lunar Cruiser. Yeah, won't rattle off the whole list, but the Rainbow Taxi, yeah, kind of okay start, and we'll see how it turns out. Next up, the Blooper Shuttle. There's been this is a family-friendly show, so let's just talk about the buffs, not the design. Anyway, it starts out at number 97 on the Ticket Time ranking. It's got 10 retro courses there, 3 in the ranked cup, which is fantastic there. It's got the Wii Rainbow Road in ranked week 1, as well as Remix Rainbow Road 2 RT, and then Wii Rainbow Road RT. Now this one isn't a really large cart. It's kind of more on the, you know, the mid to large kind of size, as opposed to the giant. So it might be comparable to something like, you know, a Grand Bandwagon or something like that. So if you like those kind of carts, then it should be good. It does have 5 overlaps with the Lunar Cruiser, 5 with the Rainbow Taxi, 3 with the Cupid's Egg, 3 with the Gold Lunar Cruiser there. So yeah, quite a bit of overlap. Not necessarily the greatest start, but it does have a couple of those Wii Rainbow Roads, which is very nice. So yeah, Blooper Shuttle, we'll see how it goes. Might be one to pick up, and yeah, whether you're the person who purchases it 1 time or 3 times. For me, I would, if I'm picking this up, I'd probably just purchase it once, because it already starts out with a bit of overlap with some other carts I have leveled up. So Blooper Shuttle, we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully very nice. I think it's a very cool design, and it's very different. Speaking of unique designs, the Gold Meteors is not that unique or original at all. It's really, I already thought the Meteors looked quite ugly personally. Maybe it's just me, but they just kind of look dumb. It's just really ugly rocks, and then now they're gold. Not a huge fan of that, guys. The gold nuggets, not a huge fan, but hey, I'm sure some people like it. It's number 88 in the Ticket Time rankings as a starting point with 10 retro courses there. It does have 3 ranked cup appearances, which is very nice. One of those being the level 8 unlock Ghost Valley 2. Yeah, it also got the Twilight House, which you probably already got covered if you've got the Black Great Sale or the 8-bit Fireflower leveled up, and it got Remix Rainbow Road 2 RT. So even though it did get all of those ranked appearances, it sounds really nice. When you actually look into it, you probably don't need it. Being a gold pass gift, it's probably not going to get great value either. So the Gold Meteors is kind of, yeah, not the best in my opinion. 4 overlaps with the Sunset Balloon, 3 with the Galaxy Glider, 3 with the Glinting Glider, 3 with the 8-bit Fireflower, 3 with the Pink Gold Meteors, Vanilla Chocolate Balloons, Yellow Hard Hat Balloons. So yeah, quite a lot of meta gliders in there as well. So maybe don't level this one up. And for our last new item and our last glider, we've got the Rainbow Fair Flyer, which is starting out at number 77 on the Ticket Time rankings, just slightly ahead of the Gold Meteors there. It's got 9 retros with 3 in the Ranked Cup there, and it got the Twilight House again, Wii Rainbow Road, which is a nice buff there, and then Wii Rainbow Road RT, which is again a nice buff. Unfortunately, it is that level 8 unlock, so they've really locked up that Rainbow Road RT course quite a bit. Also worrying for its starting coverage is those 4 overlaps with the 8-bit Fireflower, 3 with the Pink Gold Meteors, Black Cat Parafoil, 3 with the Silver Candlelight Flight, Vampire Wings, Dry Bowser Umbrella. So yeah, okay starting value, but yeah, the 8-bit Fireflower overlaps are really concerning from my perspective. I don't think this one is going to turn out with great value based on that starting point, but you never know. You really never know. So I would say pass this one up unless you really need it. Yeah, there's better gliders. Now we move into the section that I'm most excited about. This is these buffs and these winners of the tour. Let's really break down the items that have gained a lot of value, that are ones to watch or ones to start investing into now. This is a really important list, and this is my most favorite list, and what I'm looking for every single tour. What are the items that are really starting to gain value, starting to gain steam? What can we kind of read between the lines when it comes to the buffs that they're getting? The theme of the buffs, are they getting new courses? Are they in ranked? And that's where we can start to find the items which should be valuable for your account. So the first one up is Larry Wintertime. He only came out 2 tours ago. He's number 22 on our Ticket Time ranking, which is a massive 12 place jump from where he was. He now has 13 retro courses, 4 nitro courses, with 185 courses left to see. Looking at the courses he got this tour, he got Cheap Island T, Remix Rainbow Road 2R, Wii Rainbow Road, and Wii Rainbow Road T. So it's pretty fantastic. He does have some exclusive courses, and then when we look at his overlaps, the only ones really of note are the 3 with Santa Me, 3 with Petey Piranha Gold, 2 with Daisy Tie Dress, and that's, you know, there's a couple further down the list, like 2 with Shy Guy Ninja, ones like that. Yeah, but very, very nice. He's looking very good. I'm glad I've leveled him up, and I know that he's going to be gaining value for my account. So I'm predicting now he will end up in the top 10 in the coming tours. I don't know whether he will have that sustaining value, but for people who are looking at ranked, you know, you take him to level 4, level 6, something like that, and he carries your account for ranked for a period of time before, you know, other greater coin boxes take over, or other drivers as well. So he's going to have his value. Whether or not you should level him up to level 8 and quad cap him is probably not what I'd advise you to do. And this is why it's so important to look at your Ticket Time rankings and see what comes through there, because if he could be the number 1. He could be the number 1 recommendation, but it might not be to recommend taking him all the way. Maybe even level 4 or level 6 is going to be enough. Larry Wintertime, got my eye on you. Really hope that he can get great buffs, representing the Koopalings, representing great character ults, original character growth and ults in this game. Let's hope for the player base and for the community that continues to happen. Next up, we've got an item from the same tour as Larry, and it's doing even better than Larry. It is the Santa Me racing suit. Many people are patting themselves on the back right now for investing into this item early over Larry Wintertime with those 3 overlaps. It's got some pretty good value already, which is really nice to see. Let's take a look. So it jumped up this tour 9 places into number 17 in the Ticket Time rankings. It now has 7 retros and 2 nitros. So you can see the top shelf is definitely a lot thinner than Larry Wintertime. he has more of that kind of sustaining value. But where Santa comes in is those extra boosted. He's got 2 boosted appearances, which gives him 3 ranked appearances. So really nice to have that, and that's the benefit of the Miis, and of course those extra base points and things as well. So yeah, he got Wii Rainbow Road, which is ranked week 1 appearance there, and he got Remix Rainbow Road 2 RT, which again is that week 1 ranked appearance. He also got Twilight House as a ranked week 2 appearance. So this is important to know. Yeah, Meowser at this stage will probably still be a better choice there, but yeah, some huge buffs and huge movement from Santa Mi. So yeah, might be one to start investing into. Of course, you've got to be comfortable with having a lot less coverage than a traditional driver gives you, and find the trade-off in the base points. And I think this is the way of Nintendo actually balancing the drivers, that a certain driver will only give you a certain gain within a period of time. It's almost like they're using ticket time and making sure one item isn't too powerful, unless it's like the Moo Moo Off-Roader or something like that. But that item gets an exception. But anyway, let's move on. So yeah, Santa Mi, I know I would love to be investing. I just don't have the tickets right now to invest as well as Larry Wintertime with those 3 overlaps. He could be extremely valuable in the future for everyone though. So yeah, let's keep an eye on Santa Mi. Really a good one to invest in early as well with that kind of buff. Let's now move on to the carts. All right, so we've got the Purple Dozer, very cool looking cart. And I know Skogland, dude, he took this to like level 8 and quad capped it, which is insane. So I hope for your sake it gets some really good buffs. Of course, this tour, it did get some nice buffs. GBA Boo Lake, SNES Ghost Valley 2 and Ghost Valley 2R. Pretty concerning that it didn't get any of the Wii Rainbow Roads. You'd think a Purple Dozer would be just perfect on a Wii Rainbow Road, but hey, here we are. It is number 30 on the ticket time rankings, getting some of those early buffs and lots of value quickly. It's got 11 retro courses now. It actually jumped up 43 places, so it is our number 1 hottest item of the tour. With the amount of buffs that it got and how much it jumped up in the rankings. But of course, that's a generic rankings that's not based on your account. So if you look at those courses, you may or may not need that coverage, and that's going to determine whether or not it's a useful item for you in your account. So for me, on my main account and my free-to-play, I don't need this cart to be leveled up. Yeah, in terms of its overlaps there, it has 3 with the Red Vampire Flyer, 3 with the Gold Trickster, 2 with the Cact Bee, 2 with the Dark Trickster and the Tropical Truck, the Camo Tanuki, Lightning Streamliner, yeah, whole bunch there, Piranha Pipes, Red Off-Roader, lots and lots of overlaps, even if there's only 2 with any particular one. So we'll see how it turns out. It doesn't have too much overlap, so it could be great in the future, but it all comes down with this one to how well it gets buffed or not. Okay, so let's take a look at this Swift Talon, an interesting one that was kind of, we were talking back in the Animal Tour about it being dead already. This tour, it did jump 37 places, so kind of trying to bring itself back to life here. It's in number 37th place in the ticket time rankings, which is pretty massive there. It has 1 ranked cup appearance being the Wii Rainbow Road, so that's a good buff for it. It also got Wii Rainbow Road R, Cheap Lagoon, Cheap Island, and then yeah, it's got 117 courses to see, so still a lot to see. Its overlaps, 3 with Combo Cruiser, 3 with Armored Rider, 3 with Gold Eagle. Yeah, it's an okay cart. It's nothing flash yet, so don't get carried away just based on those 2 Wii Rainbow Road buffs. It really needs to get some more value. If you look at that giant list of Nitro courses, it's really only had a lot of city buffs so far. So we'll see how it turns out, but I'm not super hopeful for the Swift Talon. Blazing Eagle. All right, so the Blazing Eagle, this one jumped up 17 places, very nice, and it's number 21 on the ticket time rankings, which is very good. It got Calamari Desert 2T, Wii Rainbow Road R, and Wii Rainbow Road RT. 2 really decent buffs with that, especially with that ranked week 2 buff there, Wii Rainbow Road RT, very nice. And yeah, nice to get a few good courses. You can see 2 decent courses of 1 kind of average one, 3 buffs total. That is very nice. When we look at its overlaps, it has 3 with the Red Off-Roader. Yeah, but not really much else to report back in terms of large carts. So the Blazing Eagle is looking really great in most inventories right now. I would predict it's going to start appearing in some of the optimal coverage lists that a Turtle Dude's ticket optimizer program creates, because it's starting to get some pretty good unique value without too much overlap with other really meta carts outside of the red off-roader. So if you avoided this one, it makes it even better to go after. Definitely keep your eye on it, especially being in the shop this tour. And definitely make sure you pick it up so you don't miss out, because it might not be in ranked next week, it might not be in the shop. So yeah, make sure to pick it up if it's good for your account. Now we're talking about the gliders, and we're starting out with the Festive Holly. So this one jumped up a huge amount, 27 places in the ticket time rankings to number 46. Really, really strong in a couple of tours there, and it got the Ghost Valley 2R and the Wee Rainbow Road RT, both difficult courses to cover. Really, really nice. And looking at its overlaps, it doesn't have many meta gliders. If you are the person that upgraded the Candlelight Flight Cake, or maybe the Aurora balloons, Glittering Parasol, Sakura Origami Glider, which we're going to talk about soon, there are 3 overlaps there. And then there are 2 with ones like the Cream Toe Bean balloons, the Piranha Plant balloons, a few others, and the Mario's Hat balloon that's notable as well, but yeah, not anything too significant. A lot of those are ones you might have considered upgrading but didn't. So Festive Holly is getting some really nice unique coverage. I know for me, on my main account, this is the #1 glider and #1 item really that I need to look out for and to pick up. So I've got my eye on it. Might be the same for your account, so make sure to check your ticket time rankings to see where it sits, and of course click through on the item inspector and you can see how many courses it would give you if you leveled it up. That's the Festive Holly. Alright, we've got the wonderful Garnet starting to gain some traction and value, so I wanted to talk about it. It jumped up 15 places in the ticket time rankings to number 31. It's got 16 retros, 5 nitros, 150 courses left to see, and this tour it got Cheap Island Tea. So nothing too crazy in terms of that, but you know, a nice buff there. I think there's a mistake on the sheet, sorry there guys, I've just checked it, and this one picked up both Wee Rainbow Road and Wee Rainbow Road T as well. So 3 very nice buffs there. Cheap Island T not so much, but yeah, some really great value. And I'll make sure to reach out to Larry to check what might have gone wrong with the spreadsheet there. Next up, we've got the Cream Toe Bean balloons. This one jumped up 4 places in the ticket time rankings to number 22 on the ticket time rankings. I wanted to have a look at this because a few people have been looking at it the last couple tours with some, coverage in ranked. This one here got Wee Rainbow Road RT, which is quite a difficult course to cover, and that's in ranked week 2. It has only 31 courses left to see, so that would be my one caution with this glider. It's kind of already at a point where it should have peaked, but number 22 on the ticket time rankings is nothing too flash. And when we look at its overlaps, we do see some other gliders that you might be invested in as well. 6 overlaps with the red and gold umbrella, 5 with the Calico Parafoil, 5 with the Aurora balloons, 5 with the Sakura Origami glider, 4 with Cat Parafoil, Galaxy glider, green Cat Parafoil, and Wonderful Wings and Tropical balloons. Those are probably the most notable ones. Make sure to take a look for your account and see if it's valuable or not. I would probably be cautious with this one unless it really feels a unique spot for your particular account. Alright, next up we've got the Tulip Corsage. This one jumped up 6 places to number 16 in the ticket time rankings. It has an incredible 40 courses with 20 retros and 20 nitros. And I think that's why it's constantly under the radar. But if you want a glider that's got good city coverage for when some courses come back, when Amsterdam Drift comes back, it's going to be a very useful glider for you. This one's really nice. It also got this tour the Rainbow Road 3DS Rainbow Road, it got Remix Rainbow Road 2T, and it got Wii Rainbow Road T. So 3 buffs this late in the picture is very nice for this glider. They're obviously making up that number of retros, and you might remember a few tours back I actually talked about that. Flo and I were having a discussion about how nitro courses don't necessarily replace retro tracks. So in this case, that's kind of evident here based on the fact that they're giving it 3 buffs this tour. And it could continue to get a lot more buffs because it's got those nitro courses, but it seems that Nintendo don't value those quite as high as they value the retro courses as well. So yeah, could be nice. I'm not invested particularly in this glider, but might be one to kind of look at. Does have 5 overlaps with the Sakura Origami Glider and the Green Sprout, 4 with the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom, the Flying Flappers, the Green Cat Parafoil, Luigi Parafoil, Glittering Parasol, Mint and Berry Balloons, Red and Gold Umbrella, and the Pink Magnifying Glass. Only 41 courses to see, so will be interesting to see where it caps out. I'm anticipating it will get maybe 25, 26, 27 courses in total. We'll see how it turns out. Alright, the Icy Mario's Moustache, this one here jumped up 6 places to number 14 in the ticket time rankings, just hiding outside of the top 10, really nice. I'm predicting that it will probably jump into the top 10 in the rundown, because we can see there it's number 7 in Antilev's ranking. I believe that's current, so we'll get more information on this through the rundown as well. Yeah, I think ticket time is probably a little bit more conservative with tickets than the ranked algorithm, the rundown algorithm that uses Antilev's ranking. So it's got 21 retro courses, 11 nitros with 45 courses left to see, really decent amount of courses. They are similar kind of, I guess, to the Tulip Corsage. Remix Rainbow Road 1R and 2T were picked up this tour, as well as the ranked week 1 buff Wii Rainbow Road. That's a very nice buff there. Yeah, Icy Mario's Moustache continues to get really good value. Now in terms of the overlaps there, it does have 7 with the Record Setter, 5 with the Polka Dot Manta, and then 4 with the Glinting Glider, Flying Flappers, Secret Scroll, Mint and Berry Balloons, White Waves Origami, Wonderful Wings, Aurora Balloons, and the Silver Surf Master and the Galaxy Glider. There it is, Icy Mario's Moustache. Green Shell, not a huge fan of that, but it's got good value and it's gained value each tour, so it's worth mention. Alright guys, that's it for the items that are gaining value, the hot items. Now we move on to the ticket time top 10. Massive shout out and thank you to Flo and also to Larry98 who put this sheet together and help us to analyze these items. Highly recommend checking out this resource, guys. Links will be in the description down below to our Discord, where you can find every single one of these resources and tools that I've talked about today. So let's take a look at the top 10 drivers. In number 10th place we got Mario Samurai holding steady. Number 9, we've got PD Piranha Gold jumping up 3 places into the top 10. So good to see him there. We've got Rosalina Volendam jumping up 1 place to number 8. Question Mark Block Me Racing Suit dropping down just 1 place to number 7 after a big tour last tour as well. PD Piranha Me Racing Suit jumping up 1 place to number 6. PD Piranha dropping down 1 to number 5. Gold Me dropping down 2 to number 4. Charging Chuck Gold up 2 places to number 3. Daisy Tidress down 1 place to number 2, and Luigi Knight jumping up 2 places, dethroning Daisy Tidress and taking out the number 1 spot. Killing the game, Luigi Knight right now. So let's go ahead and take a deep dive and take a look. I want to look at a couple drivers. Firstly, we're going to take a look at PD Piranha Gold. So PD Piranha Gold, he has jumped up 3 places there, which is fantastic. He's sitting at number 9 in the ticket time rankings. Great to see him in the top 10. He still has 102 courses to see. Right now he's got 17 retro courses and 5 nitros, which is respectable. And this tour he picked up Remix Rainbow Road 2R. So only 1 ranked cup appearance and not a crazy great buff, but an okay buff, right? So yeah, it's respectable. We'll see how he goes. I think he will continue to get some really good value. I'm stoked to be invested because I'm not invested in PD Piranha, and there are those 5 overlaps there. He also has 4 overlaps with Mario Samurai, 3 with King Bob-omb Gold, 3 with Luigi Knight. And because I don't have King Bob-omb Gold triple capped or level 8, PD Piranha Gold is actually my number 1 recommendation for my personal ticket time rankings right now, and it's actually suggesting I take it already to level 8 and triple cap, where it's level 7 and double cap right now. And that's really good to see because it's actually accounting for some of those overlaps. I'm not going to do it, of course, because I don't need to unless my ranked week 2 starts to really blow out. But PD Piranha Gold, you can see for my account personally, he will easily end up going to level 8 and being triple or quad capped at some point, because he just has so little overlap with other drivers I've got at a high level. And by taking him to an even higher level, I can use him even more. So Petey Piranha Gold really looking solid. Let's move on now to our number 3 place on the Ticket Time rankings. Jumping up 2 places, it's Charging Shark Gold. So for me, I actually invested in both of these drivers to a high level almost straight away, which is pretty crazy. He got Wii Rainbow Robe, which is that ranked week 1 buff. Fantastic buff, super stoked. I am happy if he just takes the 1 buff, but it's a really useful one, and that's why he's number 3 on the Ticket Time rankings. He's had some really good buffs there. He's got 24 retro courses, he has 7 nitro courses with 57 courses still left to see, which, you know, he's still going to get a few in there. Maybe he'll cap out at 26, 27, 28 courses. As long as there's some exclusives in there, I am super stoked. In terms of his overlaps, he does have 6 with Charging Chuck. He has 5 with Donkey Kong Jr., SNES, 5 with Rosalina Chef, 4 with Meowser, 4 with Luigi Knight, 4 with Yoshi Gold Egg, 4 with Pink Shy Guy Ninja. So there are a decent amount of overlaps there. For me, I didn't invest in Yoshi Gold Egg. I didn't invest in... you know, I don't have Mario King, and he's got 3 overlaps there. So yeah, he's really nice. He's really good for my account. Hopefully he continues to get some good buffs. I don't know that his supremacy is going to last too much longer. I don't know if he'll be the number 1 driver in the game personally, but we'll see. He's a super solid Coinbox driver. So check out where he lands in your Ticket Time rankings. See if it's worth investing him in the store. Alright, we're moving on to the top 10 karts in the game. Super excited to take a look at this list. In number 10th place, for the first time in the Ticket Time rankings, is the Moo Moo Off-Roader. No surprises there. You know, as I mentioned before, the Ticket Time rankings is a little more conservative than other algorithms. For example, Antilev's one, it's held off on that Moo Moo because it's looking for the numbers, the core numbers, the sheer numbers, to make sure it's getting buffed and getting a decent amount of value for courses that are going to come back. So now that we're really starting to see that, the Moo Moo Off-Roader is looking fantastic. It is jumped up 10 places to number 10. We will take a look at that in a moment. Then we've got in number 9th place, the Lightning Streamliner, down 3 places to number 9, the Tropical Truck down 4 places to number 8, Strawberry Soft Swerve up 3 places to number 7, Pink Speeder up 6 places to number 6, Red Off-Roader up 2 places to number 5, Yellow Off-Roader down 2 places to number 4, Streetle holding strong in number 3, Green Cat Cruiser jumping up 3 places to number 2, and Shielded Speedster still holding its number 1 place. You can see how powerful getting a decent chunk of coverages on some high value courses, and that's what Ticket Time's trying to demonstrate. Really cool to see the Red Off-Roader jump up so much. It's only 1 buff or 1 course behind the number that the Shielded Speedster has, which is very nice. Yeah, some amazing items here. So really good. Let's go ahead, and I want to take a look at a couple of these. First, let's take a look at the Moo Moo. Let's see what it got this tour. So yeah, here we go. It's got those 19 retros, 1 nitro course, very nice. This tour it picked up Cheap Lagoon R, Cheap Island T, and Wii Rainbow Road RT. So some very nice coverage there. Pink Sneaker 6 overlaps, of course. Then it has 4 with the Flowery Badwagon, 4 with the Pink Speeder, 4 with the Cactar, 4 with the Warrior Wagon, yeah, so on and so forth. But very nice card, doing very well. It easily could become the number 1 card in the game in the coming months. Next up is the Strawberry Soft Swerve. This is one that's kind of been under the radar, but it's a very good card. And this tour, it jumped up 3 places to number 7 in the Ticket Time rankings. Very nice to see it in the top 10. It's got Cheap Island and Wii Rainbow Road R, which it picked up. Still got 45 courses to see, so very nice. There are unfortunately no ranked appearances this tour, and it does have some overlaps with some smaller karts, so I think it's a great one to pick up if you haven't invested in some of these smaller karts. It does also have 4 overlaps with the Combo Cruiser, 4 with the Flower Cart, 3 with the Piranha Pipes, 3 with the Shielded Speedster. So if you're not invested in these karts, Strawberry Soft Swerve is very nice. It might form a really nice niche on your account. So again, check out your Ticket Time rankings and see where this one places. All right, our last kart to look at this tour, it is the Pink Speeder. This one jumped up 6 places. It is number 6 on our ticket time rankings. With its 16 retros and 4 nitro courses, still 150 courses left to see. So those are great numbers, guys. This is a fantastic kart. Medium-sized hitbox, and we'll see with the overlaps what that means in a moment. But this tour, it got Remix Rainbow Road 2, SNES Rainbow Road, and Wii Rainbow Road R. So 3 fantastic buffs. What a great kart. Now, in terms of its overlaps, though, it does have 4 with the Moo Off-Roader, which is really what you want to watch out for. I know some people have invested in this early, which is great, over the Moo. And yeah, really interesting to see. We've got 4 overlaps with the White Bruiser, 4 with the Grand Bandwagon, Happy Ride. So there are some older courses mixed into its coverage as well. But looking at the buffs it's getting, this is a fantastic card, and it will continue to get it. It doesn't have that same curse of those smaller hitboxes that some of these other carts in the top 10 do have. So I think this one will have a little bit more lasting value, maybe than ones like the Green Cat Cruiser, or some of these other ones, Cream Cat Cruiser, that it overlaps with, or the Ice Cream Minibus. But of course, these ones have amazing coverage, so it's got its competition cut out for it. That's it for the karts. Now let's move into the gliders. We've got 2 more items to look at, and then we're going to wrap this one up, guys. The Sakura Origami Glider, it is number 3 in the ticket time rankings. Can you believe it, guys? Pretty insane to see. And in Antilev's ranking, spoiler alert for the rundown, it's gonna be number 1, which is pretty insane. It's been a bit of a sleeper, but it has 27 retros and 9 nitros, so pretty insane the amount of courses it got. And of course, what matters this tour and why we're talking about it is the one buff it did get, which is Wii Rainbow Road RT. I looked at the tracker, I pulled out my tracker straight away, I looked at ticket time, I looked at BGR, I'm trying to figure out, do I need this glider? Will it give me anything? Because it just has that course in ranked, and I really wanted that, and it's got so many courses. Now, unfortunately for me, it does have a lot of overlaps with meta gliders, and yeah, it means that it's not really useful. It only would give me something like 4 courses if I took it all the way to level 7. So for me, that's just not enough to invest into a glider, especially one that's this old. It's only got 13 courses left to see. But it does have those 7 overlaps with the Candlelight Flight, 6 with the Mario's Hat Balloon, and then 5 with Tulip Corsage, Silver Luigi's Moustache, Dream Glider, Chocolate Banana Crepe, Black Starchute, Sky High Flyer, Spider Glider, and then 4 with the 8-bit 1-up Mushroom. I'm just going to skip through here. 4 with Wicked Topaz, 4 with Golden Wings, 3 with Piranha Plant Balloons, 3 with Silver Candlelight Flight. So a lot of meta gliders in this list, which is really the thing that kind of makes you hesitate with this one. If it had a whole bunch of uniques, then it would be much more interesting to me. So it might be the same for you. Take a look at your rankings though. It could be really interesting, and perhaps, unlike me, maybe it still makes sense to take it to some kind of level, even if that's level 4 or with a single cap or something like that for your account. So depends how much you want to care about going after ranked and whether you need it or not for scoring. So have a look at your ranked in week 2 and see if you need it. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. As I mentioned earlier in the video, we're going to be doing my first ever live stream where I put some Lego together. So excited to have a Luigi Lego set, and I do have the Piranha Plant Slide expansion pack as well. So we're going to be able to create some Mario courses with Luigi and try him out in the frog suit. So stay tuned to the channel. I'm super excited to put that together. It's going to be at 2 p.m. New Zealand time on Sunday, which is roughly about 8 p.m. in America if you're watching from there. So hopefully that time works for most people to join my first ever live stream. I'm super excited to do it, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel for that. Like, guys, if you liked it, sub if you loved it, take care, enjoy this space tour, and we will see you in the live stream on Sunday. See you later. Bye-bye.